What is good, everybody? Welcome in to your favorite bi-weekly YouTube social media stadium show in all of the land. We call it the Coach and Bro Show, combined well over 2 decades inside of the WWE and in the world of wrestling. If you're watching on YouTube, and it is Monday, so you all watch on YouTube or social, please hit that like button on the way in. It really helps the show grow. Now, I don't do this show by myself, and we have a ton of topics to get into. We don't talk about the segments of Raw or SmackDown. That's for other shows. We talk about the business of wrestling, the biggest storylines in wrestling, and just things that we like to laugh at and not take ourselves too seriously. And out there, for those who do, you know who you are. Now, this man right here, I don't even know how to introduce him anymore. Greatest writer of all time, the brains and brawn and investment behind let me check my notes. Yes, JCW,
Yes.
all of them. But we just call him my good friend, Mr. Vince Russo. How are you today, sir?
Coach, I got to tell you who did take themselves very seriously yesterday.
Oh, who was that?
Your Kansas City Chiefs.
Boy,
Big win, Coach. I'm watching this game down the stretch. I'm pulling for the coach. Big win, Coach.
It was big. I needed it. I was out on the golf course with my son, and we're down 11, and I may or may not have played like shit for about 3 holes because we turned the ball over down 11. And my son, who I adore, he's out there practicing, and he's doing all the things that a young man should be doing, watching his dad act the fool because we were down. But then again, we turned it around, big dog. We saved our season, baby.
Yes,
we
you
saved
did.
our season.
Absolutely did, yes.
It was very, very exciting. Now, Vince, we got a lot to talk about over the course of the next hour or so. Mondays are different than Thursdays. There will not be a show this Thursday on Thanksgiving. Preempted on Stadium, won't be a show. So all of our Wheel of Doom will be for next Thursday. We collect them all, and there'll be new merch by then. But they still can participate, Vince, how in the show?
Yeah, guys, we love you. Not only do we love you being a part of the show, it's vital to the show. We love hearing everybody's opinions and views. We'll bring you right up on the screen with an opinion, a question. All it takes is a $5 or more super sticker or donation, and you will become part of this conversation. But, Coach, how do they take that to the next level?
Well, I'm telling you what, we're getting so many right now, and it's not that we don't want to read all of them, but we also have lives. So anything $10 or more, you get on the Wheel of Doom because we want to give back in a very, very small way. You will get inducted, put up on this wheel. We spin it on Thursdays, and you will get a free peach from our merch store. All we ask is send in a picture. We can put you up on the show. That's all we want. That's all we want. So where do we start this week, Vince? Where do we start? You know what? I would love for you to start with our first topic of the show. Where would you like to go, Vince?
I'm going to bring up a topic because I chuckled, Coach. It made me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I tend, Coach, to go down rabbit holes. Okay. And, Coach, there was a lot of chatter about, Taker's podcast, and he had a partner, and then they went to the WWE network. That partner was gone, and his wife was now the co-host. There was a lot of negativity surrounding that, right? Mm-hmm. And, I think, at one point, Taker got a little hot. Cutting promos on some of the people, cutting promos on him. But I go down this rabbit hole and I'm watching this. And Coach, I'm thinking as I'm watching this, these people that are moaning, groaning, belly aching, and carry on. I got one question, Coach.
Yes.
Have they ever been married, Coach? Do they not understand, Coach, what the wife wants, the wife gets? Do they not? I'm going hysterical. I'm like, obviously you people have never been married. What is it, Coach? A happy wife? What is that saying?
Happy life. Happy wife is a happy life.
Yes.
That's
it. Seriously, if Miss McCool wanted to be the co-host, what's Taker supposed to? Let's be honest, bro.
Let's reenact that for a second. So you be Michelle McCool. I'll play the Undertaker. You walk in and you ask me what?
Honey, darling, if you're looking for any favors tonight, I'd really like to be co-host of your podcast.
Oh, wow. I just didn't really see that one coming. Since you since you put it out on the table, I will make a phone call, and guess what? I will put that at the top of my list.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. I will make it worth your while, honey. I'm reading these people. First of all, can we just say something?
Yes.
This is the Undertaker, guys. This is Babe Ruth level. Babe Ruth level.
Whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants. He's earned whatever he wants. And it's his wife. Like, seriously, guys? Come on.
I think the hardcore wrestling fans think that their voice matters in certain situations. And for whatever reason, this is the one business where they really feel. You don't see NFL fans out there going,
right,
you need to do this, this, and this.
Yes.
You don't see it. Only in wrestling.
Yes.
Only in wrestling.
Yes.
If you have a wife who was also a wrestler, and I was there from the beginning, Vince, she is one of the sweetest, nicest people I've ever met. She was a school teacher. She entered the Diva Search all those years ago. I picked them. I hosted it. I was the guy. Of course, I'll never forget, by the way, have I ever told you what Vince did in that meeting? Have you ever heard this story?
I have not.
So you get down to we picked 30 women, and then we had a show to pick the top 10 to then travel on the road for Raw and SmackDown. Then we hosted segments, and every week you eliminated one. So we're backstage, and I should have known Vince wanted to be a work anyway. I thought maybe for once we're going to have a legitimate competition. Oh, how wrong I was. Oh, how I wrong. And I'll never forget, we were in Los Angeles, and the Los Angeles auditions were over. We had picked the 25. Then they were going to come back in the afternoon to limit it down to the 10, right? All of a sudden, we're sitting at lunch, and I know I'm backtracking a little bit here, but Kevin Dunn, who you know very well, he's sitting there. All of a sudden, this blonde walks in, and she's looking around, and the tables were gone and all that. Everybody's at lunch, and Kevin's like, go find out who that is. So I walk, and I find out. I go, who are you? She tells me she was one of the young ladies who was on The Price is Right.
Okay.
And she's like, I came here for the audition. I go, well, we did it this morning. It's over. Went back and told Kevin. He goes, oh, no. Go back and tell her she's now made it to top 26 to get narrowed down to the top 10.
Okay.
Right? So completely unfair to the other girls, but they had already gone home. They didn't know.
Right.
So we add her to the 25. Miraculously, she makes it to the top 10 of the Western. So now she's part of the 30. Vince, I kid you not, we're sitting around the night of the show, and it was in New York City at WWF New York, our restaurant.
Right.
And so it's me, Triple H was in there, Vince, Kevin, the usual suspects. She had on her list, Vince, I used to date an A-list Hollywood star. But she wouldn't tell us who it was.
Okay.
So we're going through the 30 pictures, and Vince is like, yep, nope, yep. Literally telling us who he wanted the top 10 to be before the show started.
Right.
He gets to this young lady who, by all accounts, was the best one of the 30, I might add. He goes, nope, and throws her in the nope pile.
Wow.
So everybody's looking at each other, Vince, like, who's going to say something? Who is going to say something?
Right.
And so Triple H then goes, Vince, we all kind of thought she would be in the top 10 at least.
Right.
He goes, I don't like her mole.
Oh,
we're like, what? Vince, she had a mole right here.
Yeah.
Vince didn't like it.
Yeah.
So she got eliminated because of a mole. I kid you not. So we go out after the show's over. Of course, she loses in dramatic fashion. We're down to one spot left. And I'm like, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the other girl won. I'd already known that. And we go to the bar afterwards. Everybody's just getting drunk. And she walks up, and she's pretty sloshed. And so a group of us, and I said, you got to tell me, who is the A-lister you dated? Oh, right. I'm not going to tell you. You guys screwed me over. I didn't make it. I go, no. You never know. You can come back down the road. I said, just tell us. She goes, nope. I go, you got to tell us. She goes, fine. Alfonso Ribeiro, who now is the host of Dancing with the Stars. But he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I know who that is. Yes, yeah.
I about fell on the ground.
Oh, my God.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, tremendous. Yes, that's
Alfonso
great.
Ribeiro. How
That
about
is
that?
tremendous.
Does it
Great.
shock you that Vince picked the 10 because of that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Just like, oh, come on. You
God,
got to be
man,
kidding me.
see, Coach, I didn't know it went down like that. Vince picking the 10 is scary. That is scary, Coach.
Yes. Now, most of them were okay, we get it.
Yeah.
But that one was so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it was like,
yeah.
there's no way she's not making the top 10.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Mole. Gotta go.
That's
Gotta
Vince. That's Vince.
So it's funny that you bring up Taker and Michelle McCool because and this shocked me a little bit, but when they brought his podcast in, for people who don't know, it's a WWE podcast. It's owned by the WWE. It's part of his deal. And reports are, Vince, he's making north of $4 million a year in his Legends deal for his podcast, for the one-man show that he does, travels around with the big events. So, Vince, it's got to be the easiest $4 million you could ever make. So when your wife also walks in and says, I want to be your co-host on your podcast, you do that too. Oh, I want to be co-host on LFG on AAW. They made that happen too. But now, Vince, he's starting his own YouTube channel, and Logan Paul is going after him. Okay? So Logan Paul put this up on Twitter when it was revealed that The Undertaker is starting his own YouTube channel, which I don't know why he didn't have it before, but he has it now. And he basically said, and I quote, I'm tired of all these outsiders coming into the YouTube space. When you see Logan Paul going after The Undertaker on Twitter, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, the first thing, I'll be totally honest with you. The first thing that comes to my mind is the guy's got a great sense of humor because that's hysterical. Here's the second thing that comes to my mind. Somebody within the company sees that. So that funny line now becomes angle alert, angle alert, angle alert. Yeah, thank you. Do not be surprised if we see Taker and Logan Paul just based on that tweet.
Vince, I don't know how. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what kind of physical shape The Undertaker's in, but I don't know anybody that would not sign up for that. And there is a tweet on this. If you're listening or watching right now, there's a tweet from Logan Paul. I'm tired of these outsiders thinking they can just become YouTubers.
Yes.
It's hilarious. I mean, he's a classic heel.
Yeah,
he's a classic heel, right?
He really is great. I mean, you talk about reeking personality, man. You talk about the it factor. You talk about all of these things. That's the guy. That is the guy.
That's the guy. And speaking of YouTube, oh, by the way, he kept his rights to his YouTube page. And people ask me, why is that so important? Didn't they pay him upwards of $100 million talking about Logan Paul? I go, yes, but he's a master negotiator. And you're only going to give up what you have to give up, Vince. And they're selling the advertising on his show. So why do you think The Undertaker started a YouTube channel? Because you get paid by the views, Vince.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's leaving money on the table if he doesn't.
Yeah, and that's like, Coach, we hear this all the time. We hear artists, giving up their publishing rights, and then they regret it years later because it would have meant millions and millions of dollars.
That's right.
That's kind of like this, and that just tells you that not only is Logan Paul talented, but he's also very, very smart and savvy and knows what he's doing.
Very, very, very smart. After watching the last documentary and how much Undertaker had to put himself through, Vince, just to get back in the ring the last time, I would be shocked if there is a physical rivalry that could be coming. But we also know that the Undertaker has been wanting to get involved in AAA. He wants to be an authoritative figure. Maybe, just maybe, they're thinking about him doing a role that's other than a return to the ring, which we know, Vince, he could barely walk the last time. He can't be doing that.
Coach, that's true, but we've seen everything. And here's the thing I really look at. Is there anybody more qualified on that roster to carry him through a match? He would touch Logan Paul on the forehead and the guy would be a bumping fool. So like these, I promise you, those are the things that goes through Taker's head. All you need is that little seed. Can we pull this off? And then, look at what Logan Paul is capable of doing. And, that's why, Coach, in our business, man, you just never know.
You never know. And obviously, never, ever, ever say never in this business. Producer Man tells me that on that YouTube channel, and this is very, very smart by whoever decided to do this, because they're going to be putting old matches on there. I would assume, Vince, that they'll do specific watch-alongs. Like you and I are going to start watch-alongs on matches that we are involved with. They're putting his on his own channel. So once that grows up to 20, 30, 50, 100,000 subscribers, this is going to be a major source of income for The Undertaker and, of course, by proxy, the wife.
Well, listen, Coach, you and I both know they're hurting for the money and they can really use it. I mean, so good for them. God bless them, man. They can use the money, Coach. We know that.
Well, we'll see. But I know this. The Undertaker has done what every other legend wishes that they could do. He utilizes stardom. He does not have to go out and do indie shows. He's getting paid a lot from the company. Vince, I've been saying this, that there's a lot of people I could see if Cena wasn't such a big movie star making a ton of money somewhere else, being an ambassador for the WWE. Famously, years ago, Ric Flair was offered by Vince, chose to do a deal with a separate promoter, basically a cash deal instead of, but to me, Rick would have been great back, 10, 15 years ago doing this role. Why don't you think more guys or the company doesn't utilize more guys in roles like this?
I don't know if it's the company, Coach. I think Coach, you and I know, no matter how old you are, if you're a former wrestler, we got that one last run.
I got it. Number 17.
And I'm telling you, man, it's when you tell a wrestler ambassador, that means the one last run is out of the picture. And they have a really, really hard time with that. And I'm telling you, you might think I'm crazy. I promise you, if somebody called up Ric Flair right now and asked him if he had one more run left in him, Ric Flair would 1,000% tell you yes.
I love Rick. I always have. He posted the day after Cena won. He posted a shot of him lifting weights, basically with, I got one more. I mean, basically, Cena, I want one of your last matches. And that's how not just 70-some-year-old Ric Flair thinks. That's how all wrestlers think. They really do. We got one more. You saw how pissed off Goldberg was. It's been 20 years for Goldberg.
And, Coach, I got to tell you this, man. Just this morning, across my timeline, came a brand new picture of Ric Flair, and he was with somebody else. I don't know who he was. But, bro, unless it was AI, Flair was flexing, and he was freaking huge. And now, I'm hoping it's AI, because I ain't going to look nothing like that when I'm Ric Flair's age. But if that was legit, Coach, why else would he still be in a gym every single day? Just in case I get that call. Just in case I get that call.
This is a true story, to give people an understanding of what and how wrestlers think. The Brooklyn Brawler, years and years ago, he was my assistant, basically my assistant on the road. He would go get wrestlers and things for the interviews I needed to do. Vince, I worked with him side by side for at least the first 6 years I was there. 52 weeks a year. So what is that? Over 300 weeks. How many weeks do you think Brooklyn Brawler did not bring his gear on the road?
Oh, zero. I know. People don't understand that. Coach. They think we're crazy. Guys, everybody's got that last run in them.
All right, there it is right there. Is Rick right there.
Look at that. I mean, seriously, unless that's AI.
That's not AI. That's him. That's
ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. He's obviously doing a lot of. There are specific exercises to get that muscle right there to pop.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, it is. Most people won't do that. But yeah, it's. I think deep down for Flair, we've all had, like, I had such a close relationship with him, and I think that wrestling, we love him to death, and I wish there would be more of a sunset for Ric Flair so he could get his flowers from everybody instead of constantly out there, trying to not use the word relevant because I don't want to insult him in any way. But at this age, he should be doing interviews. He should be doing shows. He should be telling stories. He should be doing watch-alongs, not thinking about getting back in the ring for one last match.
Coach, I don't know if I got guns like that. I don't know how many watch-alongs I think I got one more left in me, Coach.
You got one more left in you?
I think I got one more left in me, man.
By the way, to give you an idea of the Undertaker's YouTube page, which has now been up, it has 30 videos posted, which is nothing. These are all like his matches, things that so clearly, Vince, if his matches are up on this YouTube page, what does that tell you? It's a WWE owned YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So in a matter of a few days, it has 29,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And YouTube pays by the view. So this is going to be, and I guarantee he's getting a piece of it. The company's getting probably a bigger piece of it. But this is for him. If they walked in, Vince, and said, hey, we'll do 70-30. Even if his is 30, this is easy money for him.
Yeah.
This is no work. There's his page right there. This is no work for him. He's already done the work.
Yeah.
There it is, a full screen right there. The last ride, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm assuming they'll throw his podcast. Look, it's already there. See his wife on the right-hand side?
How many subscribers does he have? Can you tell?
You see it? 29,000, 29.2. You see the arrow right there?
Yeah.
20. And so that's in 3 or 4 days. So he's got millions and millions of followers across every other platform. So, Vince, it'd be very easy. One tweet, one post on Instagram. Hey, guys, go follow me. And he'll have 100,000 in less than a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Less than a month.
Yeah.
That's going to be found money. Real quick, I see some of those super stickers coming through. We're getting them collected. And then we've got the first couple events I want to hit on before our next topic. Let's go to Trader Chris, our first name on the Wheel of Doom. When the Judgment Day was used for Cena's third to last appearance at MSG, of all places, all I could think of was Vinny Ruse saying, this group should have ended a long time ago. It does seem like Judgment Day is kind of the group, Vince, that wrestling forgot, I guess is the way to put it.
Well, creative made wrestling forget. Listen, man, there's responsibility on the talent, but your job as being part of creative is, man, you got to give them some meat on that bone. And they have not. Coach, really, I said it when they took Priest and Ripley out of that group, Judgment Day was over. It was over they were the stars of that group. And how long ago was that?
God, months.
Year. I think it's been over a year. Definitely been over a year.
Well, I was talking today how last Friday, remember your boy, Sami Zayn, was doing the open challenge. He loses to Dragunov, who's now continuing the open challenge. And Vince, I would love to believe that being part of the open challenge is a great thing. But let's be honest. Other than Dragunov, do we think anybody's going to win the open challenge?
Yeah.
Probably not. And JD McDonough, he was the open challenge last week. He's a former tag team champion that they defended the belts once or twice in, 5 months when they were tag team champions?
Yeah.
How does JD McDonough feel right now, I guess, is one
of
the questions.
And we've seen that so much. We've seen them put tag team titles on people, and while those titles were on them, they did not elevate them at all. Those two guys are a perfect example.
Perfect example. Thank you, Trader Chris. Let's go to Bailey Douglas. He says, happy 21st birthday to me. Happy birthday. Beer wouldn't let me send $10. That's okay. Guess what? Since you tried, we'll put him on the Wheel of Doom. Nobody else. I'm soft today. We'll let him in from New Zealand. Did you happen to catch the rugby game in Chicago a few weeks ago? New Zealand versus Ireland. Great sport. I did not, but it is a great sport. Have you ever watched rugby, Vince?
I've never watched a full contest from beginning to end. I've just seen bits and pieces.
It's an insane.
Oh God, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
I have a great story. I'll tell you when we have time. It's hilarious. I wish I had the tape to visually back me up on this. Let's go to Tom Brady's 7 rings. He says, why doesn't Triple H put the world title on mid-carders? Vince had Taker, Cena, Rock, but also put belt on Dolph, Kobe, Del Rio, Swagger, Mahal, etc. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, I don't know about world title, but the formula that really worked was that was the spot of the Intercontinental title. And that was years and years and years and years. And great wrestlers were Intercontinental champion, and you knew the next step was the World Championship. That worked for decades until, for whatever reason, they decided to get away from it.
Can I ask you a question real quick? You brought up the Intercontinental Championship. And I don't even want to tell you why I'm asking this question, because I want it to happen in real time, because you and I rarely talk before the show. When you refer to the Intercontinental title or championship, say it in a sentence for me as if you've – how do you refer to it, I guess is my question. The Intercontinental Championship. What do you call it?
I would refer to the Intercontinental Championship as a stepping stone towards the world title.
Awesome. So if you're actually saying what it's called, do you call it the Intercontinental title, Intercontinental Championship? Have you ever called it anything else?
I have not, no. So
I got scolded the other day on social media because during a football game, Vince, on Saturday, Joe Tessitore's partner is Jesse Palmer. Jesse Palmer is a former Bachelor. He's now the host of The Bachelor. He does one of the main ABC games with Tessitore, who does Raw or SmackDown. Okay, so one of the teams, when they have a turnover, they have a title that they put over their shoulder. So Jesse Palmer said, "Oh, that's the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship." I cringed.
Yeah.
And so I went on social media and I said, can somebody please help these ESPN analysts out? And if they're going to refer to a WWE something, make sure it's correct. And Vince, somebody sent me a picture of the belt, and they're like, sorry to tell you, Coach, it says it right here on the belt. Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
I would have never believed that in a million years, Coach.
I agree. It would take me now find it.
Is that the current title, or was it a picture from back in the day?
That's a great question. And I actually didn't go in close enough to look at it. But I don't know how many it would. I'll see if I can do it. If I can do this in less than 30 seconds. Yeah. All right. So I have it right here. I'm going to send it to Producer Man, and I'm going to have him put it up on the show, and you tell me what you see. So we'll give it like 2 or 3 minutes. We got a couple other super stickers, but then we'll put it up. And I was blown away.
Yeah, that blows me away. I would have never in a million years ever known that that's what they refer to it as.
I agree. One of these looks to be older. One of them looks to be newer. So I'm going to let you judge. We'll get up there in 20 seconds as soon as he can throw it up there. In the meantime, we do have another super sticker. M. Heaton. My question is for Mr. Russo. Dutch Mantel recently said that he caught heat in TNA. Dixie thought he instigated the firing of Russo chants. What do you remember?
Yeah, I tell you what, and it's pretty funny, but I don't think Dutch instigated that at all. I don't think Dutch did that. But, Coach, here's what's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I left TNA, and then I went back to TNA because Jeff's wife was dying of cancer, and I wanted to help out a buddy, right? So, Coach, the first creative meeting I go to, they're talking about doing this match with an electrified cage. Oh, now, Coach, it's my first day back, and they're talking about this thing because I guess Dutch did it in Puerto Rico, whatever, and I'm like, oh, my God. And, Coach, the reason I'm saying oh, my God is because if there is an electrified cage in the WWE, it's going to look like an electrified cage. You're going to believe it. You're going to believe it. But at TNA, and I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, gosh.
Could not say a word because it was my first night back. That Sunday, they did the electrified cage, and I think it was the Dudleys and LAX.
Okay.
Coach, these freaking guys are touching the cage, and they're playing the sound effect. and the guys are trying to sell it. And coach, the entire arena starts Fire Russo.
Oh no!
I literally was back for 3 freaking days, so I'm sure that's what M. Heaton is talking about. But I don't think Dutch did not instigate that at all.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, when we need something to work quickly, it doesn't. I'm trying to send it to producer, man. And I'm getting the that long blue line, that goes like this.
Yeah.
To send it. Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, it'll come through eventually. One more super sticker before we get to our next topic. A wrestling historian says Michelle will be the new co-host on the Coach and McCool show. A, sounds like a great show. B, don't want any heat with the Undertaker, so he's happy to have his wife on all of his show.
Yes.
So listen, we love John Cena. Topic number 3.
I think he's got it up, Coach. I think he's got it up.
We got it ready?
I think so.
Okay. All right, so it came through. So here is the, if it didn't just disappear. Okay.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. So this is what was sent to me on Twitter. I think that's actually a different one because mine hasn't gone through yet. Okay, so here it is. So these are okay. So that is 1970. This is from the WWE site. That's one of them that was sent to me, Vince. The one on the right was sent to me. But there's also another picture. That has the Intercontinental title, and it says Heavyweight Championship on it.
That's the world title. Okay, we see that
right.
world. Yeah.
So that's the World Heavyweight title. So basically, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but come out to me on camera. So here it is on camera because we've gone down this rabbit hole. Producer man, come out because that's not the right one. That's the one on the right is what was part of it. But let me show you. Bring me on camera real quick. All right. So, but he's saying it does say on that one. So that, all right. See, so that's the one on the left is the one he just showed. And then see the one on the right. See, it says Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on it.
Wow.
See that? That's what was sent. That's what was sent to me.
Do we know that's legit?
It says, sorry to break it to you, Coach. The belt actually says Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
So if it does, I'm shocked.
Blown away.
Yes.
Blown away.
Yes.
So the John Cena tour is almost coming to an end. And there's been a lot of comments back and forth on whether or not it's been a success, not been a success. But something happened this week, which I thought was incredible. That I think sometimes we got to give flowers and we got to, you talk about positive stories. John Cena through all of this, regardless, Vince, of whether or not he's pissed at The Rock or pissed about turning heel, he has always stayed the course with one thing. He wants to end this tour by giving back. So he did a couple of things recently, and then Triple H confirmed it in a podcast interview that I thought was extraordinary, and I want to get your feedback on it. So Natalia, who has her own show on SiriusXM, an hour a week, was talking about how recently John Cena called her out of the blue because they have a training gym. Said, hey, what time do you guys start? I want to come. And she's like, hey, if you want to train, we'll clear the gym out. You can have. He goes, no, I want to come and talk to your students. So he came and reportedly spent multiple hours, 3, 4, 5 hours, giving back to these students. Triple H said in an interview that the last night, December 13th, they wanted to do a 2-hour tribute to John Cena. You know what Cena wanted? How about a bunch of matches that he put over in the promo on Raw between OGs and up-and-coming NXT talent? He wanted the whole show to be 4 or 5 of those matches. How does John Cena keep such a great attitude, Vince, when they've done nothing but fumble this entire tour, but yet he still wants to do the right thing?
It's tough, guys. It is really tough. Because I mean, let's be honest. We don't know the ins and outs, but I would bet this has not gone as planned as John Cena thought. And for him to still keep a positive attitude is absolutely amazing. And Coach, I want to throw something else out.
Yes.
that has not been publicized, and I want to put her over because, Coach, here's the thing. I wind up giving a lot of people a hard time because it's creative. It's not them. It's creative. But when I'm looking at a show, it's a character. So it would be like any other character in a movie or anything. That's what I'm critiquing. It's not the person. I can't critique somebody I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been pretty tough on Bailey over the years because of creative. I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I don't know Bailey. I've never had a conversation with Bailey. The creative, bro, when they did the Jekyll and Hyde thing with her, I'm like, okay, guys, really, where are you going with this? This has no place to go. I'm a writer. This has nowhere to go. And Coach, when's the last time we saw that?
I try to ignore it because I don't want to critique something that maybe is out of her control.
Yeah,
they did it like twice, and then they've done nothing with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did it. They did it for like maybe 3-4 weeks in a row, and I kept saying, guys, you got no place to go with this, and then it disappeared. Coach, I worked with a young lady on Saturday night. Her name is Danny Moe, a female wrestler out of Pittsburgh, absolutely tremendous, okay? She told me, because I don't think this is being publicized anywhere, that Bailey took it upon herself that if you were a female wrestler, send her your tape. She is going to take a look at it. She is going to have 30 of the wrestlers of her choosing.
Okay.
And hundreds of women sent her videos. The top 30, she's going to bring into a seminar. And basically she said, you fly yourself in. I will take care of everybody else. And it was, I'm doing this for women's wrestling. I'm doing this because I love it. So 30 women are coming in. She's going to personally give them a
seminar class,
a class. She's going to feed them. I guess she's going to house them, whatever she has to do. And I've not read about that anywhere. And when Danny was telling me about this, I'm like, that's incredible. I mean, you talk about really, really giving back. I thought that was incredible. I've not read about that anywhere, Coach.
I actually did hear about it. And everything is free for all of the all the students once they get themselves
exactly.
there.
Just fly there. That was it. Just get yourself there. Right.
I had heard about that. And I think it's really, really smart by her to do, because it's an easy way. Oh, look at this. Okay. So producer man just sent this to me. Is there any way, because I know we're having some issues with things not. So I'm staring at her tweet right now, Vince. Mm-hmm. And she says, free 3-day women's wrestling seminar.
3 days.
December 4th through the 6th, Orlando, Florida. Experienced women only. Limited spots available. Contact, and then the person's name with the email. Apparently she announced this back in October, so about a month ago.
Yeah.
About a month ago she announced this. That's amazing. And then she has a video attached to it as well.
I mean, so 3 days. I mean, she's putting people up for 3 days. She's feeding people for 3 days. That's amazing to me, Coach. That's amazing.
And I love that you pointed this out, because I think sometimes, and this to me is so ridiculous what I'm getting ready to tell you, a lot of people have made it an issue that she recently was backstage at an AEW show. And she was there to watch, literally, Mercedes Moné is not her best friend. She's like a sister to her. Mm-hmm. It's more than best friend.
Yeah.
And don't you think it's ridiculous that in 2025, when companies are sharing talent, people know you got friends everywhere, that you can't go watch a friend perform without getting heat for it online? I think that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I do. Yeah.
Wow. Good for Bailey. Good for Bailey. We'll give you all the credit in the world for that. Are you surprised that John Cena and Triple H backing it up on a podcast that they offered him a 2-hour show? And I thought, just naturally, I thought this is what it has to be. But I also said, what does that do for John Cena? Once I heard what he wanted, once he put it over in the promo, I said, this is John Cena to a T. It does nothing for him to get his ego rubbed on December 13th. Nothing for him. I'm saying at the human being that he is. That's not who he is.
And you know what, Coach? I don't know him, but that comes through. It comes through when you watch Cena. Like, it comes through that it's not all about him. And I never met the dude. I know you know him really well. I've never met the dude, and I could see that. I could see it.
A lot of people call him fake because a lot of the videos that come out are, for example, yesterday this guy flew from India, went into a red carpet, and he asked him a question, and Cena says, "Why are you here?" Whatever the question was, he goes, "Why are you here?" He goes, "I love movies." He goes, "You flew from where?" He goes, "India." And so he starts interviewing the guy. And the headline was, "Making a guy feel seen." Cena, as a human being, it's really hard for us in life to make other people feel seen.
Yeah.
And he does a great job of that.
Yeah.
He does, and he just wants these NXT stars to have on network television, Vince. They get to be on network TV at least one time. That's something as a wrestler when you're growing up, you dream about, right? Saturday Night's Main Event is what we grew up on. So for him to give that opportunity, I think is just next level, kind of unselfish.
And not only that, and even if that person's career doesn't go anywhere, you've got that. You've got that for your entire life, which is awesome, man.
Which is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
We got several. Every time I try to, I do a rundown. I say we got all these topics. And then these people want to engage with us, Vince. They want to participate. How selfish of them, Vince. How selfish of them. Yes. Let's rip through a few here before we get to our next topic. Awesome sauce. Flair looking like the next JCW champion, but have Flair lose the belt by being taken into the dessert again, but only this time by a bunch of juggalos. What would you do if you were to write Flair into one of your shows? What could you see him doing?
Hey, I have to tell you something. I don't know what his relationship is with the WWE. I don't know what kind of contracts he has or doesn't have. I would 1,000% be open to that.
Would you really?
1,000%. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I know what his number is, by the way. No, I don't mean like his phone number, like his number.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yes.
Yes. We might have to discuss pooling our cash together.
Yes.
Journey 777. You get a spot on the Wheel of Doom. Vince, absolutely loving JCW so far. Did you write the Kerry Morton video package? Best thing I've seen on wrestling in years.
Man, I wish I could say I did, but that was the brilliance of Violent J. This is amazing to me, just so you guys know. Violent J called me on the phone and told me about this commercial that he wanted to do. He said, "Vince, I'm going to write it. I'm going to oversee it." Coach, I am not kidding you. It was done within the next 2 hours. Within the next 2 hours, it was done. This guy, I can't say enough good things about this guy. He is absolutely incredible, man. I can't.
It's amazing. I can't wait to meet him.
Unbelievable.
Someday, if I'm ever.
And Kerry Morton too is, my God. You talk about the future of professional wrestling. The dude's a star. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Tom Brady with rings says Gender Swagger, etc. were never IC or US champion. Why won't Triple H put title on Carmelo, Finn, Gable? Vince was better at using the title as a placeholder.
Yeah.
Why don't you think so? Right now, the Intercontinental title has kind of been a Dom thing, and I think they've done a good job with Dom using that title to elevate him.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You know.
God, Coach, I swear, you and I, a lot of things puzzle us, carrying cross and, even, my God, thanks to you, I spent an hour with Baron Corbin, and I'm like, how did they miss? Like, it blows my mind. But I got to tell you, when you talk about misses, Jinder Mahal had it all. And Coach, on top of that, everybody would tell me the dude was the nicest guy in the locker room.
Nicest.
I don't see. That's what I don't know how that happens.
Well, I tell you what I think happened is that for a long time, and I just saw somebody wrote this today. It's actually it's a quote from Triple H that we were going to read later on the show. I just got to make sure that is that they believe they're so deep that they don't think about the boxes that need to be checked. And what I mean by that, Jinder Mahal is gigantic in his country. And you're trying to take this company worldwide. You're trying to do shows like big shows, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania in other countries, and you get rid of guys that are from other countries that look like $1 million, and they're good for the business too.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really hard to understand that. Jacob Kubaki, you're on the Wheel of Doom. Thank you, Vinny, for making wrestling interesting again. I'm looking forward to watching JCW grow and take on the establishment. Gotta believe. God bless everyone and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Very nice, Jacob. Back at you, man. Thank you very much, man.
Hopefully you get a new piece of merch. Saw Hitesh. What's up, Hitesh? Saw Elvis movie. Why can't WWE understand it's all about charisma? You cannot have a major draw. The WWE brand won't sell out continuously without it.
Man, you know what's so funny about that? And Coach could tell you better than anybody. Coach, how many plays would you say are there in the NFL?
In a game?
No, the players. How many
players.
NFL players would you say roughly?
There's 80 on a team times 32, so 80 times 32. So in the 2000s. 2000.
Okay, 2000. There's 2000 NFL players in the world. 2000. Who are the household names? You will never find any athlete that is a household name, Coach, that does not have charisma. That should tell you everything in every sport across the board. Those athletes that come to the top. Bro, you could be the greatest player in the world. If you don't have charisma, nobody's going to know you. But every player in the top of their sport, they all have charisma.
Wait. Don't do a blanket. I mean, Patrick Yeah, charisma. Tom Brady. Yeah, he had charisma. You know what? Michael Jordan. No, Michael Jordan.
Everyone, man.
Every single one. Every single one. Yeah. I got to show you something because Smartest Mark Alive just sent this in. He goes, "Hey, did you guys see the artwork I sent Producer Man? I think you will get a laugh out of it. Producer Man, is our tech working? Because look what he wrote in. Sent in. That would be hilarious to put that on a T-shirt.
Did you see who's by the pole in the back?
I did not. Is that Tony Khan?
That's Trips and Tony. That's
oh tremendous. My goodness. That just got even better. I didn't notice that until right now.
That is
tremendous. Yes. We might have to get that over to our merch lady. And there is the T-shirt. Producer Man, is that actually a shirt that we made, or he just sent that in like that? Because I'll make it. I would love for us to get one of those. What about would you wear that?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? That's great. Yes.
So apparently he did give us the blessing to take the artwork and make it.
That's awesome.
And we are going to make it. So Smartest Mark, we are going to make that. So pretty cool stuff.
That is great.
That's hilarious that Triple H is back there. Because he listens to us anyway. He just doesn't like to admit it. But you do, and you know that you do. So Triple H recently, Vince, was on a podcast, and this is the podcast portion of the program. So both Triple H and Stephanie have their podcast, right? So Triple H, and I want to make sure that I read this correctly because so much criticism has been made about their top guys, and all their top guys, except for Bron Breakker, over 38 years of age. In any other sport, they're being heavily criticized, not wrestling. So he said this, quote, "When people talk about the business now and they talk about where our talent are at, yeah, all the top players are in top positions and they're a bit older. But the thickness and the depth of what is underneath them is what I'm most excited about because the field is deep. This business is going to be in good shape for a very, very long time." I love a lot of the wrestlers in both organizations, but Vince, right now, for him to say that they're super, super, super deep, I think is ignoring what the roster look like right now. Am I wrong?
Coach, I think you are.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I think he believes that. I think we just spoke a couple of minutes ago about J.D. McDonough. I believe without a shadow of a doubt, Triple H thinks JD McDonough is a future top guy. I guarantee you he does. So that statement, I think Triple H wholeheartedly believes that. But here's the problem. Okay, Hunter, if you believe that, here's my question. When do you start getting these guys over? That's my question, because I know if it's me, I'm starting to get them over from day one. From day one, I'm starting to get them over. Let's take JD McDonough as an example. Bro, how long has the dude been there? Can anybody tell me seriously, from the day the guy started to where he is right now, and it's been years, can anybody tell me that he's been elevated? You've got to with every show, you've got to elevate these guys. So if he believes that, and I do believe he believes that, my question would be, then when do you start elevating them?
It's a great question. It's really, really a great question. And it's funny because you and I have discussions about it. People here, our numbers are growing every single time, which means they like the discussions we're having. Those that don't want to face this, Vince, they say we're just being negative about the product. I see it on Twitter all the time. Oh, all you guys do is shit on WWE. No, we don't. We talk about Drew, Chelsea, Cardona, Nemeth. The list goes on and on of guys that we like. What we are honest. And Vince, if they're being honest, on that same show that JD McDonough was the guy who answered the open challenge, they're getting less than 1 million viewers a week, Vince. Less than 1 million. All-time low numbers. Are those numbers that are just being made up? Or is it because there's no stars on that show?
And how many guys can you put in that same JD McDonough spot? I'll throw another one at you. Carmelo Hayes. You think Coach and I are going to argue that this guy isn't a great athlete? This guy doesn't look great. This guy even has some charisma. You think Coach and I are going to argue that? When do you start elevating him? When do you start elevating him?
I'm glad you asked that question. How about tonight? Because tonight, Vince, on Monday Night Raw, who is Carmelo Hayes wrestling tonight?
I'm not even sure, but I know it's in the tournament.
Gunther.
Okay, there you go.
Gunther.
There you go.
Now, how he won on Friday to protect Bronson Reed was a count out. I'm okay with that because at least they gave me an upset. At least there's that, because everything else is chalk. And what chalk means is those that are supposed to win. There's been no surprises, which if you're going to do a tournament, Vince, you can't have 15 matches, which is the total number of matches in the tournament, where 15 expected outcomes are predictable.
Now, guys, here's the problem, and I want you all to look at this tonight on Monday Night Raw. Here's the problem, and this is where writing is so important. Obviously, you got to get Gunther over Carmelo Hayes. Obviously. However, in doing so, you've got to protect him. If Gunther just beats Carmelo Hayes and they think, oh, bro, Carmelo Hayes is going to be over because he had a great match with Gunther. No, that's not how a casual fan looks at it. A casual fan looks at it as, bro, I don't care if you had a great match. I don't care if you went 20 minutes with the guy. You lost. This is what I'm talking about, guys. You got to beat him. I'm with you 1,000%. What are you going to do creatively to protect him, Coach? And that's what they failed to do every single time.
You could have had, imagine if of the 8 guys, just imagine this, that Matt Cardona beat his guy, that Nick Nemeth beat Solo. If you're not going to have Solo win the whole tournament, and you had at least 4 of the 8 winners are guys you didn't expect.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you have a little bit of a, where you're picking the matchups out of a thing. So you have no clue who Gunther's going to go against next. You can make creative out of that. Nick Aldis pulling out the last one and goes, I'm going to hold this for myself. And it ended up being Nick Nemeth, and the crowd popped for that.
Yep.
It's using what they're doing in a creative way instead of giving it to us straightforward, which is what it's been so far. Correct?
1,000%. 1000%. Coach, I just had an instant. I just had a situation on Saturday night. Just so you guys understand how simple this is, but they miss it every single time. I had a situation on a Saturday night where a babyface was getting beat down by the heels. He's got a friend. I mean, they're not partners, but like he's friend and he's always there. But I didn't want the friend to go out and help him. So what do I got to do? In an earlier match, the friend gets hurt. So he's helped to the back. So now when he doesn't come out because I don't want him to come out, he's got a reason not to come out. He's hurt. That's what I'm talking about, guys, when I talk about protecting your talent. Because if you don't cover things like that, you bury guys.
Bury guys. And so it goes back to the interview that Triple H did talking about depth of talent. And if as a fan that you're watching the show and you say, man, they've only got 2 guys. And I think on SmackDown, that's as deep as you can go, that can beat Cody in real life as the face of the company. He's QB1. When you start calling yourself, you're the face, Vince, it takes a certain level of star to go 1, 2, 3 and take that strap off of him. And if you don't have 10 or 15 guys that you can look at and say 1, 2, 3, oh, it stops right there. That's not depth of field that he's talking about.
Coach, listen, we can go back further. What happened? I literally think it was Finn Balor's first night in the company. What happened, Coach?
Years ago?
Yeah. Finn Balor, when he first came into the company.
I think he won something big on the first night, didn't he?
He won the championship.
Okay.
He won the champion. Ask yourself the question. However many years ago that was, has he had a bigger spot since then? Think about that.
Now that I can remember.
Think about that. The dude's first night. Bro, he won the championship. Then he got hurt, and they had to take him off of it. Bro, that's been the highlight since he's been on that roster. Something is wrong there, Coach.
Big time wrong. And I think sometimes also, I don't know, because I have a hard time remembering yesterday, let alone 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. So wrestling fans who have nothing else to do, no, don't you remember June of 2000? No, I don't. No, I don't. And guess what? That's okay, because I have a life. And I have 4 or 5 other shows that I do that I really enjoy doing.
Right.
But they remember. Yeah. And I think the fact that they remember is why you've got to be very careful when you're doing this kind of stuff, because they're going to bring it back around, and it's usually not in a good way.
Yeah.
It's usually not in a good way.
Yeah.
So to your point, Vince, we got to talk a little bit of AEW.
Okay.
All right. So, I have a hit and miss relationship with AEW. I love Tony Khan's spirit, and I love that he's trying to be different. But apparently when you tease about curtains falling down, they don't like that very much. And I don't know anybody that didn't laugh at that, but that's okay. I'm going to let it go. I don't have any thin skin. I don't. But whether or not they do is a different story. But Vince, Tony Khan, just was asked about the long shows that he does. And I think WWE learned their lesson when they started on Netflix going 2.5 hours on Raw, because now people love it. Why they're going back to 3 hours on SmackDown, I have no clue. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Tony Khan went 5.5 hours on Saturday. Full gear. 5.5. He was asked, why do you do shows that are so long? Vince, his answer blew me away.
I can't wait to hear this, because I have not heard this. I cannot wait to hear this.
So Tony Khan said the reason they go so long, over 4 hours, is contractually they have to. Apparently, the pay-per-view deal they signed on HBO Max, or however you get the pay-per-view, they have to go a minimum of 4 hours. At least that's what his answer was. I can't even imagine signing a deal like that, Vince. I can't.
But Coach, even if they have to go a minimum of 4 hours, how does that explain the other hour and a half? I mean, right?
I didn't even think about it.
I mean, okay, you got to go 4 hours. We went 5.5, Coach.
That may have included the pre-hour when you got to see the Boom guys from Costco. They were a part of the show. So I mean, there was that. But I mean, WWE on most big cards, they do a 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah.
I used to be a part of it. It was like the 1 hour is a sweet spot. You don't need to, and you don't need a 5.5 hour show. Vince, these AEW fans who I respect their loyalty, damn it, even they can't admit that it's way too long of a show. Way too long of a show.
Yeah, and again, guys, between the two companies, man, this is how you water down a product. You always, the same coach knows this, and everything that he's ever done, ever done in entertainment, whether it's wrestling or ESPN, here's the first thing you learn: less is more. That is the first thing you learn. More is too much.
I want you guys to ask yourself at home, based off of what Vince just said, and I tell it to my guys that are on Coaching Company a lot, because when you're doing a show, whether it's wrestling or whether it's sports, the natural instinct is, I want to show the world that I'm the smartest person in the room. And by doing that, you want to give all the nuggets you have. So if I give you, Vince, the Dallas Cowboys getting 3 points against the Eagles, I want to give you 8 nuggets why I believe that to be true. When really 2 work, and you save yourself 6, translates into a minute, translates into multiply that out.
Yep.
And in wrestling, I don't know why everybody wants to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
You don't need to be. I don't need 8 matches. Give me 5 really good ones. I don't need a match to take 35 minutes before the announcer goes, well, blood and guts starts now. What? What have we done for 35 minutes?
I know. And
Vince, tonight on Raw, to take it a step further, they're going to have an advantage match. AEW did that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So if you're writing, Vince, and you have exactly the same match, War Games and Blood and Guts, the only difference is how you're eliminated. That's it. So, Vince, why would you have an advantage, which all it will dictate is when you get to send your guy in first, second, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're going to have 2-on-1 for 3 or 4 minutes before the match starts. How is that an advantage other than beating a guy down?
Yeah, guys, I have to tell you, almost everything has been done in wrestling. It's not easy to come up with new stuff and give things new looks, but it can be done. And it can be done when you challenge yourself and you say, you know what? AEW just did that. We've seen this a million times before. We are going to sit here and hash it out until we come up with something new. And that's how you
enjoy the show.
No, I am not. No.
This is why you have, and I know when you were there was only a couple of you, which is probably why it worked better. Yeah. But when I was there was a minimum, I would say, of 10 people in the creative room, in the room writing the shows. And on many occasions, there was one time where one of the writers used to hang out with us a lot. On many occasions, I remember one time 3 weeks in a row, it was a Saturday, and they had worked all week writing the show, multiple hours. And I called him and said, hey, man, we're going to meet down at this bar. Sorry, I can't. I'm on the phone with Vince. What? It's 6 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah, we've been going since noon. What?
Yeah.
And we may go another 2 or 3 hours. You had that many people, and they couldn't figure out how to do it. So even on Saturdays, 8-hour conference calls. What would you have done on a Saturday with an 8-hour conference call?
Oh, Coach, I could tell you. And it led to him burning me out after 5 years. Coach, I would be sitting in a movie theater on a Saturday afternoon with my 2 boys who were very young. I would get the call, be down at the studio within the next hour, while I'm literally sitting in a movie theater with my young boys. That's why after 5 years I was done. I that was not going to be my life.
And every time you got up and left that movie theater or whatever place you were at, you're telling yourself, you're feeling so guilty. You're like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I did it a million times. It's a million. You're like, why am I in this car driving when everybody else is celebrating Christmas Eve?
Coach, I could tell you this right now. I missed my oldest son. My oldest son, Will. I missed his first home run. And I never forgot that. I to this day, I have not forgot. I would have gave anything to be there for that moment, and I was.
My son only had 1 home run. He only played baseball till he was 10. I have it on video.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. You
Wow.
hear me screaming like an 8-year-old little girl as I was like, "Is it gonna get over? Is it gonna over?" And then he quit, like, so
Yeah.
I get that. I mean,
Yeah.
it literally,
Yep.
your heart stops.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
it really, golly.
Yep.
But yet we still did it. We
Yes.
still did
We
it.
did. We did.
Let's go to Johnny Ace '07. He says Johnny Ace should come back and challenge John Cena because unlike Brock, Big Johnny is undefeated against John Cena. Plug, let's replace Pierce with him. I doubt that's going to happen. If you don't know why, Google it. Trick, Jacob Fatu, Obafemi, Zilla Fatu, Dom, MJF. These guys have charisma, not Breaker. Cody, their top guy, has limited charisma. I'm telling you right now, I agree, Hitesh, with the first. Breaker has charisma coming out of his ears. He just does.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been allowed to show it yet.
Yes.
Would
Agree.
you agree or disagree, Vince?
1000%. Well, he's got it, but I again, if it's me, that's not the role I'm going to have Braun Breaker in at this point.
Correct. They've got to figure out if they want him to be the leader of the group, or do you want to position Paul Heyman to be the leader of the Vision? It sounds like they're going to stick with the Vision name, Vince, because Adam Pearce put out his weekly social media. Here's what's coming up on Raw, and he said we're going to hear the latest from the Vision. Are you surprised that in the midst of all of this, we're still having a gray area on whether or not they're going to use the Vision name and how many are going to be in it?
No, I'm not surprised at all, because you look at this show and you can clearly see they are booking a lot of things on the fly. And I'm not saying booking things week to week, because I booked things week to week, but I knew what I was doing. I booked things week to week to have my finger on the pulse and to listen to the fans and to know what they wanted. So yes, you can do it, but you still have to know what you're doing. What I say about that is, man, when I'm watching this show, you can tell last minute changes are being made all over the place, Coach. You could just see it.
Yeah, you can. It's usually when, because I was always in there with the best guys on the mic, and you better know where you're going. There's not forgetting a line and then having somebody tell you what to do. I've seen that happen. What a disaster that is.
Yeah.
It's a disaster. You've got to be at the level of they're not gonna put you there anymore. They're not gonna put you there anymore. Smartest Mark alive. You got another spot in the Wheel of Doom. Vince, have you seriously considered working with AEW to bring Ricochet and Mercedes to JCW? Ricochet just won the new title, which is said to be showcased against indie talent. Your thoughts, Vince?
Yes, Smartest, I just got to tell you right now, I love the talent at JCW, and Violent J has made new stars and great stars and young stars, and I want to work with that roster first before we really think about bringing anybody else in, man. He's put together a great roster.
And that is very fair. But remember, guys, he's only been there a month. Imagine where they're going to be in a year. But Vince has got to get in, get his hands dirty, bring in the coach, all those kinds of things. What? What was that? What was that? Our boy Jimmy Fingers.
Yes.
He wants a new piece of merch. He wants a coach. Maybe we should just make the winner of the Wheel of Doom the new Coach and Bro show, courtesy of the Smartest Mark alive. That should be, instead of giving them a choice.
Yes.
For the next year. So everybody gets, when we make the Coach and Bro shirt, that's what we're going to give away.
I
think that'd be amazing.
Let's do it.
All right, so Jimmy Fingers, who's a great musician,
yes,
says, Coach, did you see any of the media scrum after the AEW pay-per-view? If not, look, and I did. The Mark Briscoe segment after Briscoe won the title, TK starts clapping for him about 102 miles an hour for about 4 minutes. I don't want to publicly criticize
wait a minute. That's not a critique.
It is to him.
That's comedy. That's comedy. That's comedy, Coach.
Let me just say what I'm going to say, then we can laugh. I have a very dicey relationship right now with Tony Khan. And Vince, one thing we're not going to do is laugh at Mercedes Moné and curtains falling. We're not going to do that. If you guys want to do it, it's just fine. What we're not going to do is, it was a little weird, the clapping and how hard he clapped.
Can I say this? People need to stop. Guys, life is too short to take everything so damn seriously. We have watched Tony Khan for 6 years now. For 6 years. Tony Khan is the Michael Scott of AEW. And guess what, bro? That's his charm. That is the dude's charm. Do you know how much time I spend a week talking about Tony Khan? Because there's nobody else like him. Bro, if I had to take Tony Khan as a serious promoter coach, I would probably talk about him 5 minutes a week. The fact that he is unique and he's out there and he's Michael Scott, that's what makes him freaking interesting. Can we stop taking everything so damn seriously?
I love that you just said that. And believe me, but if people think I'm not kidding, I'm not going to use names because I don't call people out. But it was brought to my attention directly to me, and also directly to a person who works here on the brand, and that Tony does not like some of the things that I say, and those are two specific things. And I'm like, Vince, am I supposed to dictate what I say and not laugh at things that are funny? I mean, because we're not coming here and going, man, today, how do I make fun of Mercedes? No, we're not doing that. But when she does something great, do they want us to then point that out? Of course they do. And we do that. But this is some funny stuff.
Coach,
it really is.
I got to tell you, on Castrating the Marks, every single week, there is a segment called The Old Man. And you know what the old man is? These guys, my own freaking brand, go through clips of me messing up a name, of me messing up a word. And then we play that every single week. We make fun of the old man. Bro, I'm supposed to get upset over that? Like, really? Come on, guys, please. Tony Khan, how many times? I swear to God, Coach and I have said it out the yin yang. Tony Khan is great for the wrestling business. And we talk about his love of the wrestling business. We talk about that all the time. The guy, we just talked about characters. Come on, guys.
I think Vince, that we mentioned how WWE could change some of the criticism literally overnight if they wanted to. Tony Khan really also could too. And a lot of what he does is fine. You said he's a character. And I think sometimes what gets in his head is people around him go, this is what Vince would have done. And you've got to be like Vince to grow this business. What was Vince like 6 years in, 7 years in? And I guarantee you that's getting in his head because he's the ultimate wrestling fan. So to him, on some level, he wants to be like Vince. And I want to tell those same people around him, relax, because this is going to allow AEW to get further along if they don't do this, Vince. If they don't take it so seriously, if they're okay with a few of the quirks and you're okay with some of the decisions not hitting every single time, that's okay. But there's more good than bad. And I don't know why, because I have a louder voice or I have this big show and a serious show, but it's been brought to my attention that he doesn't like it when we tease. And I even told the one person, I said, tell him to call me, because I guarantee you that we are misunderstood completely when it comes, because I promise you, Vince, he's not listening to the whole show. If he was, he would not have these issues.
Tony Khan's awkwardness is his freaking charm. That is what makes him different. That is what makes him a character. Man, I don't know, Coach. I do not know when we started in wrestling of taking everything so damn seriously. I don't know when we started doing that, man.
Well, it wasn't during my career, because my entire career was based off of laughs.
Yes.
It was based off of doing stupid things that made me look stupid. And it got a lot of laughs. And I've had a lot of great conversations over the years of people who really enjoyed it. I hope that we can get back to that.
So do I.
All right, Jimmy Fingers is up again. Vince, did you see Cross versus Riddle last week in MLW? It was a great show with a very credible roster, but I do not know how they had all of those matches in a 2x2 ring. JCW needs to invade. 2x2 ring?
Yeah, yeah. You know, Jimmy, it's very funny because that is the first MLW show I ever watched. I did watch it. And I was really surprised, Coach, because it was another show that it was just match after match after match. Now, they brought out all the big hitters. They paid a lot of money for the talent on that show. But, Coach, they've had probably about 8 to 10 matches. There were 2 vignettes throughout the entire show.
Well, how do you have a show? That's called a house show.
Yeah,
that's not called a TV show.
That is what it was. It was
a house show.
And listen, I'm not taking any shots or anything. If that's the kind of show you want to produce and put on, that's great. But again, there are a lot of people out there that are looking for something different. That's all I'm going to say.
And I think that's where you're going to be able to really elevate the JCW brand by doing it different week in and week out. It won't happen in a week. It won't happen in a month. But it's amazing what can happen in a year, 2 years.
Coach, we just did a 2-hour show, less than 2 hours, and we're going over the vignettes. And my guy that I work with, his name is Jeff, an incredible guy. He looks at me and he goes, "Vince, 13 vignettes?" And you know what I said? I looked at Jeff. I said, "Jeff, what's the matter? Not enough?" That's what I said. Not enough. I can write more.
That's what the business is built on. Really good characters have backstage vignettes.
Yes,
that's
sir.
how you get to know them.
Yes,
you can't do that always in a ring to put them over.
Yes.
Jimmy Fingers, once again, speaking of Jacob Fatu, unless he's hurt, which he is, I haven't seen him. Another great talent being lost in bad creative. It's unfortunate because what he's hurt, he has a tooth issue.
Yeah.
He has a tooth issue.
Yeah.
Which, as impactful as he is, I mean, you got to be very careful with that.
Yeah.
Very careful with that. Kalen Jangles, you have a place on the Wheel of Doom. Whether it's pre or post TKO, if people in the business and fans can express their disinterest for the quality of the product, then why can't the higher-ups admit it as well? That's a great statement. And that's what we're trying to get them to understand. Vince, if they would stop looking at people like us as the enemy, instead of going, you know what, maybe Coach and Vince are onto something. And because they've proven they listen, and we've proven we can last not just a year, but you and I collectively well over 20 years. We didn't do that by not knowing what the hell we're talking about. It would be amazing if they did, Vince.
It would. It would. You know what? I'll be honest, Kalen, you've got to ask them that question because I can't answer that question for them. I can't.
This next one is exactly what this brand is building into. You guys have made us a home. You've showed up every single week. Varsity VA, this is so unselfish of you. He says, don't put me on the wheel this week since I've already won. Just sending happy Thanksgiving vibes to everyone. This really helps the show.
That's awesome.
Platforms are expensive.
That is awesome.
And all these super stickers go to that. So that's amazing. Happy Thanksgiving
to
you,
Varsity. Varsity. That's awesome, bro. Thank you.
Now, maybe in 6 months when you don't have a Coach and Bro shirt, we can throw you back up on the Wheel of Doom.
Yes.
That's possible. Hitesh, can't say anything now. It's cancel culture. Everyone from 90s, thousands of being canceled. J.K. Rowling, Will Smith, Anthony Hopkins. People tried with The Rock. Can't argue some of that. Will Smith did it to himself.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling just got very political. And Vince, the one thing this show will never be is political. I can promise you that.
Oh, God, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
I don't know what Anthony Hopkins did, but he's got to be 85, so it's all gravy for him. People did try with The Rock with the he was doing, a fundraiser in Maui.
Yeah.
And those things are always tough to do because everybody feels like, well, he's the rich one. He should give $20 million. You're like,
yeah.
Well, if rich people had to give to every platform, believe me, Rock gives plenty.
Yeah.
Rock gives plenty. All right, I believe that's all of the super stickers for right now. The last thing I want to hit on, Vince, and then we got to get out of here because I have another show starting in 35 minutes. God, it's almost, golly, hour and 20 minutes so fast. Real quick, I wanted to run this by you because it's really funny. AJ Lee is the guest on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. And the tease that they put out on social media made me want to go and listen to it. It's a great show. It's a great tease. Where basically Stephanie asked her about a tweet she sent out 10 years ago. coming at Stephanie when Stephanie quote tweeted about how use your voice, equal pay, blah, blah, blah. And AJ Lee went after her. They teased that. And then for 5 minutes, they got into the discussion. And Stephanie said, hey, listen, I didn't like the fact that you did it because you directed it at me, but I'm glad you did it because that elevated the female product for the next 5 to 6 years and got somebody to main event WrestleMania. Do you believe, or are they just trying to get along right now, 10 years later, as AJ Lee, at least for right now, is being used as a top female talent?
Yeah, listen, man, we've learned this in wrestling, and we've talked about it many, 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 many times. People in wrestling never forget. They never forget anything. And, you know, it's a show, and they're putting on a show, but how do they really feel inside? I mean, you know how it works, Coach.
I know how it works.
Yeah.
But when you got 2 shows, you do what you do. Yep. And, hey, I'm sure they're going to get a lot of views, and God bless her. I would never condemn anybody on any show. But I found it very funny that AJ Lee 10 years later is she's like, let's get right into it. Okay, yeah. Let's get right into it. Give it to me. Vince, you are the man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and friend. Your family.
Yes.
Love this. I'm gonna miss you on Thursday, but I'll be hanging out with mine as well. So anything you'd like to say to the good people at home before we get out of here?
Yeah, guys, I do want to let you know there will be a JCW show on Thursday night, Thanksgiving, 7:00. Just go to their YouTube channel, JCW Lunacy, and Coach.
Yes,
there may be a surprise appearance on this Thursday show.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
That's all I'm going to say.
Are you trying to tell me that possibly with you missing our show live, that somebody could be in a different spot to be seen?
That's quite possible. Thursday, 7:00 Eastern. Yes.
All right. Once you're done, sick and tired of that family of yours and the food, and you're sitting around, the belly's all out to here. Oh, let me go check out YouTube and JCW. Let's go. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Vince, you are the man. I do want to say thank you to Producer Man, who always shows up for this show. Also, Mikey P has started helping behind the scenes. We thank him as we grow. You need more people who see the vision and have it from the ground up. And so we have some amazing people behind the scenes. So happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you out there. Be safe if you're traveling. Spend that time with your family and understand we're here every single Monday at 5 Eastern time and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, that's going to do it for us. Vince, Mikey P, Producer Man, I'm the coach. We'll see you next time right here on the Coach and Bro Show.